getting answers. This is CBS 13 News, always streaming on CBS News Sacramento.
Wow, listen to that. A house explosion putting an entire neighborhood on lockdown. What one neighbor is saying tonight about the moment flames erupted.
Taxed for vacant properties, the new idea from the city of Sacramento that could turn blight into beauty.
And sad updates tonight in a tragic story we first brought you as breaking news. A mother hit by a suspected drunk driver while walking with her two children in Sacramento's Pocket neighborhood has died. Her children were hurt, but they are okay.
With that, we turn to CBS 13's Ashley Sharp, learning late tonight the mother and her kids were just steps from their elementary school when they were hit, Ashley.
Right, guys, it's so sad. And you'll remember we were here live just Thursday covering this crash when a suspected drunk driver crashed up onto this sidewalk. The tire tracks in the grass still visible right outside of the Bergamo Montessori School on Pocket Road, where a mother and her two children were walking here. We learned today that woman sadly has died from her injuries. Now, tonight we did confirm with a spokesperson for the Bergamo Montessori School that woman's two children are students here at Bergamo. Those kids were also hurt when this suspected drunk driver crashed into all three of them on the sidewalk. We're told that those kids are thankfully okay and their injuries are non-life threatening. Now, the Bergamo Montessori community, though, grieving the death of a parent at this tight-knit school. A spokesperson for the school told me tonight that there are just no words to describe this loss and that their school community is deeply saddened. That mother's identity has not yet been released to the public. The school did say, though, when it's appropriate, they'll share an online fundraiser to help raise money for these children who were sadly right there when their mother was struck and killed. And guys, just weeks before Christmas, it's truly just such a tragedy. That 26-year-old driver accused of hitting them was also taken to the hospital after this crash with minor injuries and then was booked into jail following that. They are facing charges, we've learned tonight, of DUI, felony charges of DUI, and also manslaughter. Sacramento police confirming us to her name is Alethea Lee. She's going to be in court, guys, tomorrow afternoon on those charges.
Yeah, just so sad. Ashley Sharp live along the Pocket neighborhood of Sacramento. Ashley, thank you. A suspected DUI driver's in jail tonight accused of hitting and killing a 70-year-old woman in Stockton. It's happened overnight, late last night on Princeton Avenue. The CHP says the suspect ran a stop sign, hitting the side of a GMC. The suspect then ran away, but a citizen ended up stopping and detaining them until deputies arrived. The woman in that GMC died at the hospital.
I have a stunning update in a shooting we first told you about last week. Deputies have arrested the person they say pulled the trigger at an apartment on Greenback Lane in Orangevale last Tuesday. But that's not all. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office says they've now learned the victim was invited inside the home and tried to take fentanyl without paying for it. They say that's when the gunman chased him and fired a shot at his car as he drove away, hitting him in the arm. That victim is expected to be okay. The suspect, Donovan Mullen, turned himself in last night.
Speaking of fentanyl, there's a new federal financial strike force hoping to combat the deadly fentanyl drug trade. So the team will crack down on the illegal financial networks supporting cartels and drug traffickers. This will be done in part by streamlining personnel and resources across the Treasury Department.
Let's take you outside now with a live look over downtown Sacramento tonight. And it's dry out there now, but come midweek, that wet weather will be here. Waiting for the rain showers and hopefully some snow, but Nick's more in the know about that. He's joining us now with our first look. Hey, Nick.
Yeah, by Wednesday, we're seeing more in the way of the showers in place. And as we go before that, for tonight, the fog is going to be the issue for the early morning commute tomorrow. Already starting to see a little bit of some haze out there, but we're not seeing the fog developing just yet. But I do imagine just within the next few hours, start to see more fog popping up. We can see visibility normally at 10 miles down to 6 miles there into Modesto. So that's the haze that we're seeing in place across the valley now. Dense fog advisories do go into effect through 11 a.m. So the fog will linger for quite some time. How dense will it be? Well, many spots down to about a quarter mile or less in some of the more dense pockets out toward Davis, Sacramento, all the way down across the Central Valley through about 8 a.m. And then we will see some improvement as the morning progresses. Otherwise, holding on to a mix of sun and clouds once that fog does burn off and temperatures recover back into the mid-60s. Beautiful day during the afternoon at least, but we will begin to see the rain moving in on Wednesday. We'll have more on the timing of that and more snow for the Sierra. That's all coming up, Tony.
All right, Nick, we'll see you soon. Thank you. Tomorrow, the Sacramento County District Attorney is going to walk through some local encampments along the American River levee. So this comes months after he sued the city of Sacramento. His demands include enforcement of city ordinances like clearing sidewalks. Tomorrow, the River City Waterway Alliance will show Tien Ho, the DA, the environmental, health, and safety issues caused by encampments along the river.
All 4 candidates have qualified for the 4th GOP presidential primary debate set for Wednesday. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie will face off in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It will be the smallest debate stage lineup so far this year. The pool of potential Republican candidates shrinking. Just today, North Dakota's governor announced he has suspended his campaign. Governor Doug Burgum didn't reach the qualifications to run in the 3rd debate. He took a swipe at the Republican National Committee, saying their debate requirements are, quote, nationalizing the primary process.
Let's take a live look at the U.S. Capitol tonight, where House Republicans could vote as early as this week to formally launch an impeachment investigation into President Biden. The House Judiciary Committee chairman says it would look at potential charges of bribery, abuse of power, and obstruction. The accusations center around whether the president, when he was vice president, abused his powers to pressure Ukraine to fire a top prosecutor. There's no public evidence to support those claims.
Tonight, Israel has widened its offensive aimed at eliminating Hamas' control of Gaza. Hamas says more than 15,000 Palestinians have been killed in the war. CBS 13's Christian Benavides has more on the war as we near the 2-month mark of that first music festival attack.
Days after the collapse of a week-long ceasefire, Israel is widening its war against Hamas to include parts of southern Gaza. Israel says it is expanding ground operations, telling those who evacuated northern Gaza to leave parts of the south as well, but it's not clear where they can go.
IDF forces have almost totally dismantled 2 Hamas brigades in northern Gaza in intense fighting, and we are working to dismantle the Hamas terror machine in the southern Gaza Strip too.
This girl told CBS News her family was forced to flee from Gaza City south to Rafah, where they now live in a makeshift shelter by the road. The IDF issued this interactive map outlining evacuation zones, which residents can access by a QR code. But many parts of war-torn Gaza have no internet or electricity. Israel's army released video showing what it says are battles against Hamas.
We do expect to see civilian casualties as a result of this campaign. That is sadly true in all wars. Hamas is using civilians as human shields.
The Jewish state is continuing efforts to destroy miles of tunnels, where it says Hamas hides military infrastructure below civilian buildings, including hospitals.
Now, efforts to reach another ceasefire fizzled over the weekend. Hamas said discussions about releasing more hostages taken during the festival will only happen if there is a permanent ceasefire.
Well, the escalating violence in Gaza is raising tensions across the entire region. Over the weekend, an American warship was forced to shoot down multiple missiles and drones fired at various commercial ships in the Red Sea. The Houthis had vowed publicly to attack Israeli shipping, but none of the vessels hit on Sunday had a current Israeli connection. The U.S. has laid blame on Iran as much as the Houthis. The USS Carney shot down the drones, even though it was not the intended target.
We are talking about the Houthis here. They're the ones with their finger on the trigger. But that gun, the weapons here are being supplied by Iran.
U.S. official says the Pentagon is considering striking targets in Yemen, but warns that would give the Houthis exactly what they want, which is to provoke a wider Middle East war.
And tonight, the Sacramento County coroner is asking for your help identifying this man. Officials say his body was found in June 2022 at Riverbend Park in Rancho Cordova. They believe he died because of natural causes, adding they believe he was homeless.
We're learning more about a deadly house fire in Southern California. Officials saying tonight one of the victims' bodies was found in the swimming pool. Neighbors heard gunfire before and during yesterday's fire in Sylmar as you take a look at the destruction. LAPD investigators say a man and dog were also found in the burned out home. The man and woman had both been shot. Weapons and thousands of rounds of ammo were found on the property. The investigation still has not revealed whether the victims died due to the gunshot wounds or the flames. No neighbors or firefighters were hurt. It's unclear if police are looking for a suspect.
A neighborhood in Arlington, Virginia, being asked to shelter in place tonight after a home exploded into flames. Look at this scene. It happened after police say they were trying to serve a search warrant. Unbelievable to see. Officials say when officers went inside that home, the suspect started firing a flare gun from inside. One man says he lives a half-mile away, but he'd have guessed that it happened right outside his door.
I could feel it. I could hear it. I've lived in that house for 50 years, okay? I've never had a sound wave shock like that. I thought something had happened on my house.
How scary that had to have been. Police say that suspect was inside the home when it exploded. They haven't yet been able to go onto the property because flames are still burning.
Well, chases are chases, but I want to show you a wild one that had a suspect driving in reverse in East Los Angeles tonight. The driver of a stolen truck back through the area, nearly hitting a bicyclist and a pedestrian. Now, the driver eventually ditched the truck and was taken into custody.
Give you a live look right now. If we can take a look at the G1C. No beam tonight, but it is no Monday blues, so I'll tell you that. It is all about the purple because tonight was the most anticipated game of the season so far this year, and fans came out ready to support.
They were ready. Let's get out to CBS 13's Madison Keevee, who caught up with the energized fans. It made a weeknight feel certainly like a weekend, Madison.
Tony, that is exactly how it felt out here. And forgive the cheesiness of this next sentence I'm about to say. We didn't need a beam in Sacramento tonight for Kings fans to shine. The fans flocked to G1C with confidence. What better way to start the week?
It's going to be a great game tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Lighting the beam at the end is really fantastic.
As fans shuffled inside, longtime loyal ones thought back to a time when being a fan was more lonely than lively.
We went through a long time of being practically the only ones in the parking lot, but we're doing okay now.
We wouldn't even be here. We'd just be at home watching. We never thought to come here, but now with the Golden One Center, the in-season tournament.
Hi, Mom! It's 30 minutes before tip-off, and I wanted to see if I could get 2 tickets, one for me and one for my photographer, Daniel. Cheapest ticket on StubHub is $36. Over on Ticketmaster, the cheapest ticket is standing room only for $21. The most expensive, we're looking at courtside seats, $999.
Well, when the teams play better, they charge more.
It's about the experience, this experience, that fans say brings them out to the big games.
For us as a family, it's something that we budget in because it is the Christmas season also, and it's more like a treat.
A royal treat for some who have waited for a Monday night to feel like a playoff party for decades.
So this is like a dream come true, for sure.
All right, so the Kings aren't headed to Vegas for this in-season tournament, but fans are looking ahead to the big one, of course, the championship. And after last year's playoff success, there is still that confidence that this team is going to deliver. And there's going to be a lot more nights where we have the beam in the sky than nights where we don't, right?
Back to how you started this live broadcast. If I had to apologize for every cheesy line,
oh dear,
I would just be apologizing all day.
A lot.
So, good line, good story.
True.
Good energy.
We loved it. Thank you, Madison.
All new at 10, from blight to beauty, the new tax that could punish some property owners.
Thank you, Steve. And getting ready for winter rain, we're getting answers on new steps to prevent flooding in Vacaville.
Border closure concerns as a major port of entry shuts down in Arizona, the ripple effect in nearby border towns.
And a deathbed bombshell, a woman sharing her story after learning her father was a fugitive in his final moments. We're back in 60 seconds.
Saving energy is easy at SmudEnergyStore.com. Find the best energy products to help lower your bill. Smud customers get up to $100 in instant rebates on select smart thermostats. Shop with us at SmudEnergyStore.com.
More and more people are hiring Jacoby & Myers. Why? We get insurance companies to pay up to 10 times more. That means more medical and financial assistance, more attorneys, more experience, more wins. Choose Jacoby & Myers.
See it, the 2023 Ford Mustang Mach-E, the spirit of a Mustang with the versatility of an SUV. Drive it. Rapid acceleration, zero emissions. Own it, the EV with Blue Oval, the largest public charging network in North America. See it, drive it, and own it. Ford Mustang Mach-E, all electric, all Mustang. Get a Mustang Mach-E at 1.9% APR for 60 months, plus $3,000 retail bonus cash, plus $3,750 in tax credit.
It is dry on the radar right now, but a wet system is moving in, as Nick mentioned, bringing rain on Wednesday across the region. That has people preparing now while it's still dry out. So right now, new efforts are underway to help protect communities from the kinds of record-breaking storms we saw in Northern California last winter.
So tonight, we're getting answers on what the city of Vacaville is doing to protect people who live in flood-prone areas. Vacaville's Tulare Drive looked more like a lake last January, with strong winter storms causing significant street flooding.
I mean, the water in the middle of the street is 3 or 4 feet deep.
Some people stacked sandbags around homes to help hold water back. It's not the first time this neighborhood has seen flooding from nearby Alamo Creek.
In 2005, we were here when it did flood, and about 5 inches got in our house.
We had about 6 inches of water in the garage.
Last year's series of atmospheric rivers dumped 4 inches of rain in Vacaville in just 1 week.
That's what busts the bubble, so to speak, and it creates a condition where there's nowhere else for the water to go.
Brian McLean, director of Public Works, says there was so much runoff in Alamo Creek that water actually started flowing backwards through the underground storm drain pipes and up into the neighborhoods.
That's a reverse flow, and the creek water ends up escaping and going out into the street.
Now the city is taking new steps to try to stop that type of flooding in the future, installing these new metal gates on the pipes to prevent flows from going in the wrong direction.
Ultimately, what we're trying to do is keep the water in the creek.
The city also has a series of stormwater detention basins to help divert excess runoff.
It's approximately 20 foot at its deepest area.
This one can hold nearly 5 million gallons of water and was modified this year to start diverting water sooner. Engineers are also looking at adding additional storage basins and making the existing ones deeper, all in an effort to protect these homes from another flood.
Something needed to be done, and it's really nice to know if the city's taking care of that.
Yeah, definitely needed. Vacaville crews have also been working the last few months to clear debris out of creeks while water is still low and fix erosion along the creek banks.
And some rain on the way, as Nick indicated, but nothing certainly that's going to cause any flooding, Nick.
Yeah, no, certainly not going to be the case this week, at least. You know, for those up in the Pacific Northwest, that's a different scenario. Several inches, in fact, more than a foot of rain across some of the higher elevations there. For us, we had some sunshine out there today, but the clouds are just off to the west. These will be coming in from west to east slowly as we move into tomorrow. But first, we'll have that fog in place across the valley for tonight. But in terms of that rainfall, tomorrow, a dry day. But as we get through tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, you can see those clouds coming in from west to east. They'll start off with those thin clouds, but then they'll thicken up as we get into the early morning hours for Wednesday. I think Wednesday morning, for the most part, a dry start to the day. But by Wednesday for lunchtime, we have the showers coming across the valley. They'll be numerous across the valley during the middle part and the latter part of the day. And then we'll begin to see some rain mixed with some snowflakes in the Sierra. But up in the higher elevations on Wednesday, the snow starting way up high, about 7,500 feet or 8,000 feet in elevation. So the freezing line is way up there. But as we get through the overnight hours into Thursday, we'll begin to see the snow levels drop down to about as low as 4,000 feet on Thursday. The difference is you don't have as much moisture to work with. So we'll begin to see snow showers on Thursday, but not enough to really result in much measurable snowfall across the Sierra out of that, and a few leftover showers on Thursday for the valley. So when it comes to how much rain or precipitation that we are looking at in terms of the valley, the Central Valley, not much. A trace to up to 1/10 of an inch, as much as a 1/4 inch across the central and northern parts of the Sacramento Valley. Then as you get up into the higher elevations, you're getting closer to a 1/4 inch of precipitation, especially north of I-80, where amounts could be as much as a 1/2 inch of rain between Wednesday and Thursday's time frame. So a brief round of some showers there. Temperatures are on their way down. We're not going to drop much more tonight. we're going to be down to about the mid-40s tonight. So we're already starting to see some hazy weather in place across parts of the valley. That's the start of the fog that's beginning to form, and I'll begin to see those fog conditions start to at least become more dense in the morning, as much as about a quarter-mile visibility or less in some cases for the early morning commute. This is Modesto. As you get through 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, then you start to see the fog give way to a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures will be back up into the mid-60s, which will be the case across much of the Sacramento Valley tomorrow after you have that morning fog that burns off later into the mid-morning to the latter part of the morning. Temperatures in the mountains peaking into the middle and upper 50s for tomorrow. Forecast looking like this. Once you get beyond Wednesday, Thursday, the sun makes a return. Friday into Saturday, beautiful way to kick off this upcoming weekend. Although cooler, Saturday morning temperatures into the 30s for the valley, and then we'll see a bit more clouds going into the start of next week. But overall, no significant impacts with this upcoming storm, Tony.
All right, Nick, thanks. Tonight, a major port of entry is closed in Arizona. The U.S. Customs and Border Patrol says it needed to take action as the number of migrants trying to cross is overwhelming agents. This is in Lukeville, west of Tucson. Migrants are coming from all over: Senegal, Nigeria, India, and Ecuador, many waiting with no food or water. One man says he left Nigeria 2 months ago. Listen.
I thought it was a fast process, you know. If I knew I was going to be out here for a couple of days, I won't, you know. It's you can't imagine. It gets very cold in the night, and you know, I didn't come in with money.
Nearby border towns are raising concerns over the closure's impact on local economies. This particular crossing processed a daily average of more than 3,300 people.
I'll talk about a scary situation here. New tonight, a person is safe after being trapped inside that truck dangling from a bridge. Wow, this was the scene in Dallas just a few hours ago. Firefighters put a harness around the man, lifted him out of the wreckage to safety. He was taken to the hospital, but no word on any injuries.
Wow, what a rescue. Coming up at 10, we're getting answers after tests reveal toxic water near military bases, why many don't qualify for a safer water source.
And vacation rental scams skyrocketing, how people are getting fooled into fake rentals.
A former U.S. ambassador in the hot seat, details on accusations he worked as a covert agent for Cuba.
And don't forget, CBS 13 is still teaming up with Les Schwab to collect toys this holiday season. You can donate a new unwrapped toy for our annual toy drive. It goes until December 12th. We need your help spreading holiday cheer to kids in our area. That's some snapping with the music. For a list of the donation locations or to donate right online, just go to CBS13.com. We'll be right back.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's dropping off presents in a sporty Civic or picking up a few for yourself in a fun-to-drive HRV. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Tony, your parents know you're over here again, right?
Yep.
Great.
Tony lives next door. See, his parents decided to just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda.
My dog.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
We're going to bed, Tony.
Good night. I'll lock up if I leave.
Get real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity.
When it comes to your health, you do you. You ping and pong that body. You plunge that body. You green that body. You brain power that body. You practice and practice that body. You make it rain that body. You flu shot that body. And now you Spikevax that body. Because even though the pandemic is over, COVID-19 isn't. Spikevax by Moderna is a vaccine to help protect you against COVID-19. You shouldn't get Spikevax if you've had an allergic reaction to Spikevax or its ingredients. Rare cases of inflammation of the heart muscle and outer lining have been reported. The most common side effects are injection site pain, redness and swelling, tiredness, headache, muscle pain, chills, joint pain, and fever. Make vaccination against COVID-19 a part of your health routine. Spikevax that body with Spikevax by Moderna.
Kids grow up before our eyes.
Do you need help? I get to it.
But something can be growing that we don't see. It's what doctors call toxic stress. Learn 4 things you can do to overcome toxic stress at first5california.com.
Yuba City is encouraging local artists to submit their designs for a new welcome sign. The new sign will reflect the rich and diverse history of the city. Artists can submit their designs in person at Yuba City Hall or just by mail. The city is offering a $200 cash prize for the winner. That's a cool contest.
Yeah.
Well, Teamsters at McKesson have voted overwhelmingly to go on strike.
Yeah, they began negotiating a new contract with the company in September. A little background now. Teamsters represent 1,000 McKesson workers nationwide. Local 150 members stock supply and fill prescriptions to hospitals and pharmacies. That's why the name might sound familiar, including the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. The current contract expires the 10th of December, so right around the corner. The group says if the labor dispute isn't settled in Sacramento, there's going to be a national impact. McKesson says it continues to engage in good faith negotiations with the union. This will have you digging a little deeper the next time you go to book a vacation rental.
And the Better Business Bureau says it's seeing scams for Vrbo and Airbnbs across the country. An Iowa family experienced the nightmare firsthand after they unknowingly paid for a fake Vrbo listing. Even worse, when they showed up, they walked in unknowingly trespassing into one man's home.
Totally mortified, couldn't get out of that house fast enough. I'm hopeful that I will get all of my charges recouped. But the bigger picture is, how do they not know about this scam going on? Are they aware of it? What are they doing to make sure this doesn't happen?
Yeah, what a mess. The Better Business Bureau suggests researching the property and lister before paying for that rental. Automaker Ford recalling 45,000 of its vehicles. Ford said there's an issue with the inside door locks, which could allow the door to open while the car is moving. Ford is recalling its 2015 Fiesta, 2016 Fusion, and 2016 Lincoln MKZ. Owners can take their cars to a Ford dealer for repairs at no cost.
All new at 10.
Pushing back on blight by getting landowners to pay up. Details on a proposed tax on vacant land designed to spur development, and toxic water worries near military bases.
Is that water safe to drink?
CBS 13 investigates why many don't qualify for alternative water sources. Plus, a smashing frenzy in Southern California. The search for a vandal armed with a hatchet.
It's all new and next on the CBS 13 News at 10.
We have a team of reporters with all different levels of experience. They are all passionate about what they do. And I just think that that's where you're going to get a strong team.
The 2023 Ford Mustang Mach-E, the spirit of a Mustang with the versatility of an SUV. See it, drive it, and own it. Get a Mustang Mach-E at 1.9% APR for 60 months, plus $3,000 retail bonus cash, plus $3,750 in tax credit.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
How does he have time to visit everyone in one night?
Well, he has VIP parking.
And how does he know if I've been naughty or nice?
He sees everything.
Everything? Let me guess. He's got lots of storage, too. And that's how he does it.
The electric BMW Road Home sales event is on now. Lease the 2024 BMW iX Extra i50 for $699 per month, now through January 2nd.
If you're wishing for storage, Tough Shed is here to help. With year-end savings and special financing offers, a new shed can fit in your holiday budget.
Now during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event at your local Ford dealer, get special offers on our great selection of Ford vehicles. Right now, get a 2023 Ford F-150 XLT or Lariat with 2.9% APR plus $2,000 bonus cash.
Getting answers. This is CBS 13 News. Always streaming on CBS News Sacramento.
From blight to beauty, Sacramento is considering adding a new tax to spark development on its empty parcels sitting dormant. There are a lot of them in Sacramento.
Yeah, sure are. CBS 13 Steve Large is in North Sacramento with this idea to tax landowners into taking action.
Well, this is the problem that City Hall is now shining a light on: vacant properties sitting right next to homes and businesses. Now, there could be a new tax punishing landowners that don't develop their parcels.
I have been in this house for 40 years.
Heidi Halderman has lived in the Woodlake neighborhood of North Sacramento for a long time. The vacant lot across the street from her home has become part of her neighborhood landscape.
These guys have not been able to raise enough money to start it, and that's been 5 years worth.
Sacramento began to keep a register of its vacant lots 5 years ago. This city map shows where they all are. There are 3,600 empty parcels. 980 of them are located in North Sacramento, the most of any area in the city. How big of a problem are vacant parcels in this area?
They're pretty significant. They send a message.
Daniel Savala is the executive director of the Del Paso Boulevard Partnership, seeking to revitalize North Sacramento. Some of the vacant properties here are owned by the city of Sacramento, transferred more than a decade ago when the state dissolved its redevelopment agencies.
It shows you that the city has a role to play in redevelopment.
A new vacant parcel tax would require a 67% approval from city voters. Other cities with vacant parcel taxes are San Francisco, Oakland, Richmond, Santa Cruz, and Los Angeles. Turning blight into beauty is a new tax enough to do the trick.
I'd like to see a vivid art community. I mean, we've got buildings down there that could house artists.
The city's Law and Ledge Committee is going to be diving into this issue tomorrow. Some staff estimates show it could raise $20 million a year for the city.
All right, Steve, thank you. We're learning more tonight about some breaking news we first brought you last night. A deadly shooting outside a Woodland strip mall. Surveillance video captured the sound of the gunshot Sunday. Chaos starting with a 36-year-old man threatening to shoot people inside a massage business at a strip mall. You can see the camera shaking there when it all happened. Woodland PD says another man showed up in his Jeep, ran over the man making threats before crashing into the building. We're told the two men knew each other and had an ongoing dispute.
Hopefully, like I had mentioned, it doesn't become a pattern or keep on transpiring, or at least get worse.
Woodland PD says it's gotten calls to this strip mall before, but crimes like this, not common. Police did not recover any weapons from the man allegedly making threats towards that business.
Have an update for you on the El Dorado County man accused of selling his 16-year-old daughter for sex. He's pleaded not guilty. The investigation started with $40,000 worth of naked pictures the teen was allegedly selling online. Deputies say the father was complicit in the sale and profiting from them as well. The search warrant led to more charges, including child abuse and sex trafficking. He'll be back in court at the end of this month.
A suspected serial killer accused in a series of deadly attacks in Los Angeles made his first court appearance today. 33-year-old Jared Powell was arrested over the weekend. He's accused of killing 3 homeless people last week, as well as a 4th man during a home robbery. Police say they used automatic license plate reader technology at that scene to connect Powell to the crimes.
The individual responsible for these horrific crimes was found, caught, and will now be held accountable.
Police also found a handgun inside the car, which they believe is tied to all 4 shootings. They're now investigating to see if there are any other victims. No motive, though, for the attacks has been released.
A shooting investigation also underway in South Sacramento. 3 people were hurt, including a child. It happened just before 1:30 this morning on Clover Hill Court near Franklin Boulevard. All of the victims were taken to the hospital. 41-year-old Vicente Castillo was booked for attempted murder.
One woman is sharing her story tonight, saying her dad confessed on his deathbed that he was a fugitive.
If his name wasn't Tom Randall, I deserved to know my father's name, and that I deserved to know my name.
Well, Ashley Randall says her father, Thomas, was in reality a bank robber named Theodore Conrad. He'd been on the run for more than half a century. Back in 1969, when he was 20, he robbed a bank, stealing $215,000. He ran off and built a new life with Ashley's mom, becoming a car salesman. Now, all of this he confessed in 2021 as he was dying from lung cancer.
I looked up Ted Conrad and then put in the word missing, figuring it's been 50 years, somebody might be looking for him. And that's when I saw the headline, like vault teller, heist. And I was absolutely floored.
During Conrad's decades on the run, his case was featured on episodes of America's Most Wanted and Unsolved Mysteries.
Quite the story there. Federal prosecutors have charged a former U.S. ambassador for allegedly working as a covert agent for Cuba for more than 4 decades. Manuel Bojorquez has more on the shocking details.
This action exposes one of the highest reaching and longest lasting infiltrations of the U.S. government by a foreign agent.
Attorney General Merrick Garland vowed the full force of the Justice Department against 73-year-old Victor Manuel Rocha, a former ambassador to Bolivia and career diplomat. Federal prosecutors say after receiving a tip, an undercover FBI agent posed as a Cuban foreign agent and contacted Rocha on WhatsApp. They allegedly met 3 times in this busy Miami neighborhood. The criminal complaint includes images from video of their conversations in Spanish. It says Rocha claimed his involvement with Cuban intelligence went back almost 40 years, that he boasted, "What we have done, it's enormous, more than a grand slam," referred to the United States as the enemy, and said his #1 priority was protecting the Castro regime.
He would have had the ability to gain access to information that could cause great harm to the United States.
John Carlin is a former top national security prosecutor.
So he had the ability to gain and then share information that would thwart U.S. agencies' ability to collect intelligence on Cuba on the one hand, but on the other hand, he also was one of the key officials charged with forming our policy positions on Cuba.
Rocha appeared in federal court but has not entered a plea. Prosecutors have not revealed what kind of info they believe he shared, but they noted he was a top diplomat in Havana in 1996 when Cuba shot down 2 unarmed planes, killing 4 men. Those planes belonged to a U.S.-based anti-Castro group.
A Boston woman has died after officials in the Bahamas say she was attacked by a shark. It happened today while she was paddleboarding. Local police say she had a bite on the right side of her body near her hip. Now, while deadly shark attacks are not common in the area, there have been 2 others recently. I have some unfortunate news to share with you out of the G1C tonight, where a man died during the Kings game. So if you were there and you saw the activity, here's what we know right now. Sac Fire said the man in his 30s suffered a medical emergency. Crews performed CPR but couldn't revive him. He was then pronounced dead at the scene. The Kings confirmed the news and released a statement saying, in part, quote, "The organization offers its deepest condolences to the guest's family and loved ones."
Straight ahead at 10, tests reveal toxic water near military bases. We're getting answers after many don't qualify for alternative water sources.
And the search for a vandal armed with the crowbar. Details on a smashing frenzy in Southern California.
And from the I Thought You've Heard It All department, coming up at 11, a Christmas tree stolen right off the top of a parked car. Details on this crime caught on camera in broad daylight. Nick?
And waking up to some patchy, dense fog in the morning, and then we're also monitoring another system that will bring in some rain chances to the valley. More on that coming up.
Every week on Sports Sunday, we do more than just show you the highlights.
Well, interviews and insight from special guests you won't want to miss.
Elk Grove Plumbing and Drain, CBS 13 Sports Sunday, Sunday nights at 11:30 on CBS 13.
Here's a holiday thought to ponder. Is it truly a wish list if you only have one wish? Here's to getting everything you're hoping for this season. Make your wish list a reality with exceptional offers during the season of Audi.
When I needed a free place to stay closer to my cancer treatment, the American Cancer Society was there.
$70 could provide a free night at a Hope Lodge community. Donate at cancer.org.
Black Friday goes green at Pape Machinery Ag and Turf with deals on top John Deere equipment. Now through December 8th, get $300 off X300 series lawnmowers or $500 off Z500 series mowers. Visit your Pape Machinery store today. Pape keeps you moving.
That's why I just send money.
MoneyGram?
Yeah.
Send the gift they really want with money transfers from MoneyGram.
Tony, your parents know you're over here again, right?
Yep.
Great.
Tony lives next door. See, his parents decided to just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda.
My dog.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
We're going to bed, Tony.
Good night. I'll lock up if I leave.
Get real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity.
If you have foot pain, it's not normal and you need to do something about it.
The Good Feet Arch Support System can not only alleviate but also eliminate the pain from plantar fasciitis, neuromas, and bunions.
In addition to just providing pain relief, better balance, better stability, better function.
The wonderful thing about the Good Feet Arch Support System is it gives you a pep in your step. You walk with confidence. Your posture is better, you're well aligned, you're ready to take the day on.
Start TV's getting in the holiday spirit with a Saturday night movie series. Settle in for some great seasonal cinema. It's Start TV's Holiday Movie Magic every Saturday at 8 through the new year on Broadcast Channel 13.2 and these providers.
Hurry into your local Acura dealer for the Season of Performance event going on now.
Hundreds of drinking water wells near military bases tainted with toxic forever chemicals. The Department of Defense now voluntarily tests wells near bases and provides bottled water to people near wells with the highest levels. We're talking about drinking water near military bases, not just the water on the base. And records reveal concerning levels of these chemicals in some local wells.
But many don't qualify for alternative water sources based on the Department of Defense's current policy. CBS 13 Julie Watts is getting answers.
What is legal is not always safe, and that is the issue that we're seeing with PFAS specifically.
Jared Hayes is a senior policy analyst at the Environmental Working Group. He explains decades of research links so-called forever chemicals to a variety of health concerns, ranging from cancers and kidney disease to asthma and weight gain. He says for years, military bases used fire retardants with these chemicals, which eventually contaminated the water supply. Experts say there's no safe level of these chemicals in drinking water, but it is in the water many drink. Hayes says the EPA is working on new regulations that are expected to lower the acceptable levels in water to just 4 parts per trillion.
Above that level, people should be filtering their water. People should be provided clean drinking water when they have been contaminated, especially by the Department of Defense.
But while they wait for the EPA to finalize the changes, the Department of Defense is still using the old 70 parts per trillion standard before providing replacement water. For instance, DoD testing for the wells near Mather Air Force Base found this sample well above 70 parts per trillion. People drinking from this well would have received alternative drinking water, but people drinking from this one, where the levels are above 30 parts per trillion, would not.
Is that water safe to drink?
Really, no level of PFAS in your drinking water is going to be safe.
Based on DoD records, they did not detect the chemicals in the wells around Travis Air Force Base, and there are no testing records yet for McClellan. In all, EWG says they found 450 contaminated wells near military bases nationwide, but the Department of Defense had only tested around 70 as of last month.
Folks should be able to turn on their tap water and to be confident that they are not being contaminated with these forever chemicals.
Now, EWG is pushing for more funding, for more urgent testing. In the meantime, there are many consumer tests that allow you to test your own water. EWG recommends everyone filter the drinking water no matter where you get it.
All right. time to bring in Chief Meteorologist Nick Marianos for another look at our weather forecast. And it's dry right now, but don't get used to it, right?
Right, yeah, we have some rain coming our way. That will be here for Wednesday's time frame. And then, at least the weekend's looking good, but a lot of people have that itch to get that snow coming in. And it's just such a slow start to the snow season. An inch here and there, but it's just not like last year.
Yeah, last year was a lot.
It was. The storms today, really recently, have been across the Pacific Northwest. And that's where the storm track has been focused. High pressure down to the south, keeping the storm track nudged up north. And it's been one storm after another for Seattle, Portland, where there are flood watches in place for some of the lower elevations there. But you can see the clouds to the west here. These will begin to slowly filter in as we move through tomorrow. We'll have a foggy start to the day tomorrow. But as we go through the afternoon, that fog does give way, and you can see that some of the thin clouds coming through tomorrow. And then by Wednesday, we'll begin to see, again, skies turning mostly cloudy during the afternoon. The rain still in the morning to the west, but this band of rain is going to continue pushing east across the coastal ranges and then across the Sacramento Valley, down to the south into the Central Valley. Rain chances will be not as widespread. You'll have a few rounds of showers down to the south, Stockton, Modesto, but the focus of it will remain to the north. And then the snow mixing with rain across the Sierra. The snow level starting off near 7,500 feet, but they'll start to drop as we go through Wednesday night into early Thursday. Temperatures getting much cooler into Thursday's time frame. What we will see on Thursday is a lingering batch of some showers, not much, about 20% coverage for the valley, and then higher coverage across the Sierra, mainly snow showers at this point for Thursday, because temperatures will be dropping down to the 30s there in the Sierra. In terms of how much rain we can expect, not much for the valley. Generally, a 10 to a quarter inch across the central and northern parts of the Sacramento Valley, much less as you go further south, and then across the higher elevations, closer to a quarter inch of precipitation before we are all said and done. Temperatures on their way down, but not much more for the overnight lows. I think we'll see temps staying into the mid 40s across much of the valley tonight. That's because we're going to see the fog starting to develop. Already seeing some hazy skies out there, but in terms of the early morning hours, these are dense fog advisories that go into effect just about in a couple hours from now, about 2 a.m. through 11. So the fog will linger in the morning. Modesto likely seeing foggy conditions through about 9, 10 o'clock. And then as we get to the afternoon, holding on to a bit drier and pleasant weather. Temperatures peaking in the mid 60s tomorrow, which is pretty nice for a December day. Stockton, Modesto into the middle and upper 60s, and then temperatures running into the 50s for the Sierra. So you can see why we're going to see more in terms of rain going into this upcoming system on Wednesday. It's just a little bit too mild for the snow, but we start cooling down quite a bit as we get toward the latter part of the week. All right, it's forecast. Throw it over to Jake.
Hey, thanks, Nick. Viva Las Vegas! Maybe that could possibly for the Sacramento Kings tonight. The New Orleans Pelicans, though, standing in their way. We will have highlights coming up from the G1C next in sports. Tony?
Jake, thanks. Work underway on a dangerous stretch of road. We've got details on the improvements. Experience local news like never before. Introducing Primetime Sacramento. Late news 2 hours earlier at 8, where we get straight to the big story and make the news make sense. It's a place where you can speak your mind.
As county residents, we have no say-so.
And see the future of California. We'll crisscross the state, test your news IQ, and crack Northern California's hottest zips while learning the best ways to live in our prime. Primetime Sacramento, the only local news at 8 p.m. weeknights on KMAX 31.
Show with Stephen Colbert. Why are we whispering? Weeknights on CBS.
This week, Andre 3000, rap legend E40, plus Latin music icon Maluma. CBS Mornings this week.
Your morning routine just got better.
It's time to light up the season during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event. Get our best offers and choose from a huge selection of Ford F-150 trucks with the capability, convenience, and technology to help bring us together. Wow. Discover how Ford F-150 can make the holidays bright. Right now, get a 2023 Ford F-150 XLT or Lariat with 2.9% APR plus $2,000 bonus cash, only at your California Ford dealers.
Big truck accidents can result in big injuries and big settlements. These are just some of the big results we've gotten for our clients. Call us. We're the Law Brothers.
Call now or visit lawbrothers.com.
Get ready for the holidays at Living Spaces, where you'll find the best deals for the entire home. Shop sofas starting at $350, dining sets starting at $250, and queen beds starting at $150. Plus, get special financing for 60 months on any purchase with your good credit. And with free shipping as soon as next day, you can start celebrating in style right away. Spread joy this holiday season with a little help from Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
Now open in Roseville and Manteca.
Hurry up.
We're gonna miss first chair.
This one next?
Yeah.
We're gonna be late.
Has anyone seen my old ski suit?
Just wear the new one.
I don't want to wear the new one.
Yeah.
Dad's in your car, right?
No, I thought he was with you.
Dad! Who's ready to shred some pow?
Floor it.
Don't forget, the BMW Road Home sales event is on now. Hurry in for a credit of up to $3,000 on select models now through January 2nd.
Now, the Xfinity Sports Zone.
Happy Monday, sports fans. Jake Gayden here. All roads lead to Vegas for the new NBA in-season tournament. The Sacramento Kings hosting the quarterfinal round this evening. The team standing in their way, the New Orleans Pelicans, a team they've lost to twice already this season. But could that change tonight? To the Golden One Center we go, where Sacramento came out firing off the long rebound here. Trey Lyles to Malik Monk for the slam. Malik with 21 off the bench. Kings up as much as 13 in the first. But this play right here swung the momentum in the Pelicans' favor. Jose Alvarado out of nowhere with the steal on De'Aaron Fox, one of Fox's 4 turnovers in the first, leads to a Najee Marshall bucket. That's a nice floater right there. Second quarter, more of the same from New Orleans. Trey Murphy from 3. He had 16 off the bench. Then Herb Jones from the corner. Give it to him. Pels up 8 at the break. Kings trying to chip away in that third. Domantas Sabonis, he finished with the triple-double tonight, his second of the season. Then Fox with the great take and the up and under. Lead is down to 4. Fox with his seventh 30-point piece of the season. But the same problems for New Orleans, the same problems the New Orleans Pelicans have given the Kings all season long. Hot to them again in the fourth. Brandon Ingram with his midi game that was solid tonight over Keegan Murray. He finished with 30. Then the finisher, Jones, going coast to coast with the slam. He finished with 23. Kings odds of heading to Vegas going to 0. They fall to the quarterfinal round of the in-season tournament, 127-117. After the game, the guys saying the length and physicality once again played a big factor in the loss.
We have to be able to answer their runs. Once they got to double digits, it was hard for us to get back. And then when we go on a run, they'd be able to answer. So we just have to be able to stop the bleeding.
You are disappointed in it, but at the end of the day, watching that game, they earned it. So it's one of those things is when you get a butt whooping and that person that whipped your butt, you watch them do it, you see how they do it, nothing to do but give them credit for it.
On the football field, Tim Plow is officially home. In an emotional press conference this morning, the former Aggie QB introduced as the 18th head coach in program history, calling the move a family decision and a true dream come true. The San Diego native has 2 goals as head coach, beating the team across the causeway in Sac State and bringing the Ags to a national championship game. Back here at the Golden One Center, though, the Kings' in-season tournament hopes officially gone. We talked to Domantas Sabonis after the game. He said he's disappointed. They wanted to be on the big stage of Vegas and compete with the best of the best in the league, but they'll move on from here. I think the saying of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas rings true tonight, Tony and Marley.
Yeah.
What happened here at the Golden One Center, let's keep it here at the Golden One Center.
Yeah.
All right, let's move forward and rock and roll from there.
You wonder if Saturday's win against the defending champs took some extra out of them, but we'll see about that.
Right?
All right, Jake, thanks. Live at UNC. Still ahead, road work in Pollock Pines, the effort to upgrade safety in the area after a van hit 5 school children.
And dozens of cars vandalized over the course of a few hours. The search for the suspect and reaction from victims.
Plus, a shooting outside of a gas station and what we're learning about the investigation as police search for the shooter. We'll be right back.
At Subaru, we know there's nothing like being on the mountain. Making fresh tracks with the cool wind on your face, the freedom, the rush. That's why nothing handles winter roads to get you where you love to be like a Subaru. Now there's nothing like being on the mountain. making fresh tracks with the cool wind on your face, the freedom helping you make tracks. When you buy or lease a new Subaru by year's end, get 2 season passes to Sierra. The Rush. That's why nothing handles winter roads to get you where you love to be like a Subaru. Now we're at Tahoe. Sierra at Tahoe offers fresh fall lines and incredible terrain parts with a top-notch helping you make tracks. When you buy or lease a new Subaru by year's end, get 2 season passes to Sierra at Tahoe. Sierra at Tahoe offers fresh fall lines and incredible terrain parts with a top-notch vibe. Make tracks to SubaruTahoe.com to find your retailer.
Tony, your parents know you're over here again, right?
Yep.
Great.
Tony lives next door. See, his parents decided to just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone is on, Tony's over here streaming and drinking all my soda.
My dog.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
We're going to bed, Tony.
Good night. I'll lock up if I leave.
Get real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity.
We're all hoping tomorrow will be better than today. My name is Bree Crowell, and we're working to build a safer energy system that's more reliable and more affordable in the long run for every Californian. Whether it's stronger poles that can withstand extreme weather, undergrounding lines to prevent wildfires, or installing powerful new technologies to spot problems faster. Our PG&E team knows every connection matters, and we take pride in the things we do. That's why we're proud to help build a better future for our hometowns and yours.
For over 25 years, Lovesac has been rewriting the rules of comfort. It's okay to change your style. It's okay to change your mind. And to change things up. Get messy. Get immersed. With Lovesac, you make the rules.
Hurry into your local Acura dealer for the Season of Performance event going on now.
Badly injured? Call All Fours for legal help.
2 suspects behind bars tonight after stealing $2,000 worth of over-the-counter medication. Now you see all this stuff has happened in Lathrop. And get this, the police department says the suspects tried to make a run for it and on a bus once they were caught. They were also linked to a more organized theft ring. Both suspects were arrested and given felony charges. Road work underway on a stretch of road in Pollock Pines where 5 school children were hit by a van.
And that area will be getting new crosswalks, lights, and stop signs after community concerns of speeding and dangerous driving in that area. One family member of one of the kids hit back in May says it is a welcome change, even if it didn't change what happened.
I think that that's going to be amazing for the town itself. I can't get upset. I can't get into the what if they had done this earlier, we would never be here, because it is what it is. And we're, again, we count our blessings every day that we have her still. So.
And district supervisors say the project started in 2018 and expressed a sadness that wasn't able to get done earlier because of the delays in the process.
Windows smashed in Southern California. Some 30 cars vandalized in 3 hours. LA police searching for a man armed with a crowbar.
Nicole Comstock has more from Koreatown, speaking with car owners who are upset they're left with a mess.
The back window is busted out on this Chevy Malibu. It's one of 30 cars in this Koreatown neighborhood that now need very expensive repairs. We got you on camera! After the LAPD says this man holding a green bag in one hand and a yellow crowbar in the other went to town on all these cars near Virgil Avenue and 5th Street this afternoon.
I was in tears. I was very frustrated. Not only that, my car was given to me by my grandparents.
So Melina Sosa felt violated when she learned she was one of the victims. She says it'll be $300 to $400 to replace this back window, not including the side mirror that was lobbed off. And to top it off, police haven't caught the suspect in this gray Dallas sweatshirt who witnesses caught on camera.
Yeah, that's very concerning. It's very concerning that I don't even feel safe to kind of walk around the environment. I kind of don't know where to really park my car. Am I gonna fix it right now and then maybe in a couple hours or tomorrow wake up to the same thing?
The other thing is, police say this guy is known to be hostile toward bystanders.
We do want to feel safe. What if I was sitting in my car, and then, that happened?
Monique Jordan spoke with us over the phone. Her car was also vandalized. She and other neighbors say they wonder if this man is one of the many homeless people struggling with mental illness who have been acting out in the neighborhood. They say the city needs to step up and help them before they hurt others.
Just because, you might live in Beverly Hills, it's not going to happen. No, it happens everywhere. So that means something is definitely wrong.
The CBS 13 News at 11 starts now with 7 at 11. Your top stories in the next 7 minutes of the newscast. Thanks.